Hi everybody, my name is Max. They call me Maxi. Kidding. But hopefully everybody's doing well today. I know it's been a minute since. Sorry, I'm still trying to like get my stuff together. Like I am so disheveled right now. Anyways, hopefully that everybody's doing well today. Um, so I hope you guys liked my last video. In that video, I talked about how I deal with hyper and how I go about overcoming it this year. And this is something that is in the process, um, I don't have a particular topic for today's video. I'm just kind of yeah. But whenever I get to, that's what's going to be the title of the video or the message is going to be for today. Um, Actually, I do have something to talk about. Today's video, we're going to be talking about complacency and how that can affect you and how not to avoid um, doing the things that you want to do, like not being so stuck in your head and just like going for it. Um, Anything that I talk about within these videos is either stuff that I'm currently like going through, like in emotion, like just currently learning, or it's something that I've already learned within my life. I'm applying it full time. So that's just a fair little thing there. But yeah. So for starters, this is something that was very recent for me. I was going over with my therapist, and one of the things we talked about was complacency and how it can affect you and how it can keep you behind from doing a lot of things. So if there's one thing you must understand about having a certain lifestyle that you want to accomplish for or do things, it's really understanding what are your actual goals. And when I mean goals, meaning like what do you actually want to change about yourself? Not things that you can ease into, but like cut off like cold turkey, or even just in the process of doing it now. Um, and to give you like a live example of that, I've lost a lot of my friends. A lot of my friends, okay. I used to know a bunch of people, and now I'm down to probably two people that I talk to, and only one person. Shout out to you, my girlfriend. She's the one that okay, whatever. But she's the one person that I talk to like literally every single day. So she's pretty much my bestie at this point. Okay. Anyways, um, but for the most part, my mind just went completely blank. Oh my goodness, what was I talking about? Okay, okay, I remember. So, I pretty much lost a lot of my friends recently, like tons of them. And if there's one thing that um I understand about like outgrowing people, it's understanding that when you want change, you have to get change like now. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till the next day. Don't wait till like next week, next month, next year. Do it now because you don't know how much time you have left on this earth. And I'm not fear mongering or anything, but the reality is that a lot of people take 99% of their time and spend it doing on things that are not high energy. So with that being said, guys, it's understanding that when you truly want change, Um, and especially if there's somebody who's been in the same spot for a really long time, you don't ever want to get too comfortable. A bit comfortable. Don't let your sadness, your anxiety, don't let those things, or even your fear from like other people, even your own like family, don't let that stop you from becoming like something you truly want to become, you know. This life is really so temporary. We only live like up to 75 years at best. It depends on how well you take care of yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally and spiritually, right? So we only have so much time on this earth. And like that's it. You know what I mean? Like that, like that's it. So uh do keep in mind of the amount of time you're spending on like certain things or even worrying about certain problems. Like especially to me recently, like about doing like my trauma work and things like that. Um, my energy started to shift towards like instead of hatred for me, it became towards other people for things that happen in my life and things like that. But you can't be like that. You know, you have to remain vigilant within yourself and understand that you cannot control or change people. You can only change the circumstances and narrative for yourself, right? Um, and to give some biblical perspective on that, the way that God wants us to be able to carry out ourselves is through understanding His word, the truth, and understanding that if it's something that is not from God according to His will, then it's not meant to happen. Simple as that. And I don't mean like, oh, get a new house, get a new car, or anything like that. I mean just literally like day by day motion. There are just some things that God will just close doors on and you just don't even know about, or even open doors to you didn't think you was gonna get into, you know? Um, and how that's working for my life as far as the complacency aspect of it is, um, you can pray a lot and God can give you a lot of answers. But if you don't take the first step in towards moving the only word that He gave you, then what's the point of even doing anything else? For faith without works is dead. So in my case, um, I'm very fearful. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. As somebody who's like trying to like make my own decisions, it is extremely difficult to do so because you've been dependent for a really long time. And it's scary, not gonna lie, because it is real life. You can't really make a lot of mistakes. You can, but we're not really supposed to learn from experience, we're supposed to learn from faith alone, right? Faith from just seeing other people, how they deal with their things, you know, just things like that. It's an information game. Um, but you don't want to get stuck. The whole goal of this life is to not get stuck and literally just, like get from here to like basically like point A to like point B. You know what I'm saying? Like that's essentially the final goal to all of this. And at the end of the day, we don't live very long. And it sucks. I wish we could live like 200, 300, 400 years, but it's not biblical days. Okay. We're not Noah, Noah art, none of that. It's, 400 days. Okay. It's only 75. All right. It's only 75. Yeah, I heard me. But, yeah, no, the really, to be honest, um, that's something I've been struggling with lately is just trying to move on. And I mean like truly move on, not just like staying behind, trying to take up past things. Sometimes in order to change, you have to let go of the toys you used to play with. And that's what I'm currently learning now is understanding that I have the ability to make whatever choice I want, even if it's not feasible, right? That's called free will. Am I gonna make every choice that I want to think about? No, because logically it's not smart. Logically, you don't want to do some decisions. Like, don't put yourself in a financial hole. Don't go gamble. Don't go like smoke like 6 packs of cigarettes on my barrels after you just got done with your divorce like wife or anything. You know, don't do that. But what I'm saying is, reinforce it with healthier habits. You know, and not just putting yourself in this continuum of a cycle or, just constantly going back and forth with the same things. So, um, point number two is understanding that um, with your complacency, you have to be honest with yourself. Are you too comfortable? And if your answer is yes, if you're too comfortable and you are self-aware enough to know that you need to get uncomfortable, why aren't you taking the action to do so? Is it fear of disappointment? For me, that's what it's been like for me for a long time is disappointment, right? So, for example, today I went to look for a second job and it's scary for me because it's like I don't know how this shit's gonna work, but excuse my language, but I don't know how this thing is gonna work. But it's understanding that this is a game of life. This life is really a game. Like I see the XP board, I can see the levels. I'm prestige 22. Like all these different things is like it's part of life, and life be life, and bruh. Okay, and it's also having faith in God, understanding that He would be right with you, side by side. Ain't nothing worse than putting yourself in a position where God does not exist at. He's always with you. Don't get me wrong. He is always with you. But I mean, like, in a place where you don't include him in. You need to include this guy in literally everything, okay? Include God into everything. For me, I include him into everything. And for you, it might be something different. I don't know, bruh. I'm not you, bruh. But besides that point, last point I want to make is being uncomfortable. It's what's going to promote you to become comfortable. And what I mean by that is your comfortability right now is most of the time avoidance from actually getting uncomfortable, getting out your comfort zone, not doing things that are just gonna stress you the out. You know what I mean? And in my case, these past couple of months, that's what it's been like for me. Just avoiding certain things and not wanting to just push that next level. But the reason why is because we want to take an easier route. The Us humans want to be as painless as possible. Well, in my case, I'm a cat right now. But we want to be as painless as possible, right? But the whole point of experiencing pain is to get the motivation, which is the discipline you need to be able to promote a new lifestyle. And sometimes it's just going to suck for a while. For me, it's gonna be a hard journey this year, but I know that if I do everything that I'm supposed to every day, the inputs, and not worry about results, just strictly inputs, the outputs is going to show over time. It's a time game, it's an information game, right? The more information and the smallest little things you tell yourself, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, right? That's when it's gonna matter. And if there's one thing that I've truly learned so far by being on this earth for about literally like 22 years is understanding that you cannot make promises to yourself knowing that you will not keep them. I just, at this point, I don't even think about doing that. I don't make New Year's resolutions. I go off based on what is my current life circumstances and how can I change it? How can I make it better? How can I improve? How can I evolve from it? You know what I'm saying? So don't let that make you complicit in behaviors or anything else. At the end of the day, you can only control yourself. With my tongue being out, okay, but you can only control yourself, and that's it. Can't control anybody else. Can't try to involve everybody else in your life. Not everybody has to have access. Not everybody. Only certain people can have access to your life, and whoever those people are, you can trust, and you can trust them, like your homie. But anyways, that's all I gotta say for this video. Just make sure don't get complacent and understand that you do not have a lot of time is to take action now. Get uncomfortable now. And I'm speaking this for myself. Every time I'm speaking these videos I can go back on and listen to myself and be like, he's right, you know? So, um, the message for this video is do not remain in the same spot you were last year. Move on, go forward. Don't go backwards, right? And if you're gonna take a step backwards, take a step backwards in the right direction. Um, this is one quote that I remember. Um, be careful where you lean on a tree, because a tree can fall into any direction, but it's the direction of the tree that falls into. What if it's in the dirt, the water, the sand, anything? Depending on where that tree is at and where it falls, you will fall there also by leaning on that tree. So be careful where you lean, aka be careful of the directions that you take, the choices that you make, especially if they're negative, okay? Especially if they're negative. So, um, thank you guys so much for listening to this video. I hope everybody has a blessed day. Well, for me, I think it's like 7 o'clock. Yeah, it's a video a bit earlier than usual. So, I hope everybody has a great night and stuff. And I will see you next video. Bye. Oh.